Good people of YouTube, how is it going? Has been a minute since I've done a motovlog. I think 6 months to be exact. It's been about a couple weeks since I've done anything motorcycle related. It's been 2 days since I've done anything fire and or EMS related. Life has been crazy, weather has been horrible, and the government has lost its mind. I'll be doing a catch-up video maybe in the next couple weeks or something like that. I've got a lot to talk about, a lot to bore you with, but I need a lot of your input. I've got a bunch of different ideas, a bunch of great ones, probably a bunch of crappy ones. We'll get onto that later. This video, we're going to talk a little bit about the COVID-19 and what it is, what you can do to prevent yourself from getting it, what you can do to... I know this might seem very, very counterintuitive to what I'm talking about as I'm out here riding, but you know, we're social distancing today. It is a beautiful 78 degrees outside. I just got done washing my car. I just got done washing my motorcycle. Just a quick snidbit. Georgia's in a shutdown, statewide stay-at-home order, all of Georgia. And basically what that means is, you know, we can't leave the house unless it's for essentials. I just want to thank you guys for those of you who just saw this video pop up in your feed and you're like, man, I haven't seen this guy in forever, he sucks, I'm gonna unsubscribe. Thank you for not unsubscribing. Thank you for leaving a thumbs up. Thank you for commenting on the video, letting me know and joining the conversation with COVID, with life, with things of that nature. Let me know how you're doing during COVID. I know there's about 10 million people plus who have filed for unemployment, who have lost their job, who are on furlough. I know it's rough. Let me know how you're doing. You can email me at any time if you need somebody to talk to, if you need some just someone to vent to. I know it's tough. I'm fortunate enough to have the job that I have to where I am essential and I do need to be at work. It is a blessing and I'm very thankful for that. I've got the best job in the world. I know it's a tough situation, but I've got a couple things to hopefully lift some spirits. And I know it seems like there is no way it could get any better. You know, it might get worse before it gets better. I don't know. That's what we're going to talk about. So let's get into it. COVID-19, what is it? And again, I am no medical professional. I really don't know a whole bunch about this. I just know enough to kind of keep me out of trouble, keep me out of harm's way, and to kind of make logical sense of it. The COVID-19, as of April the 5th, 2020, this was about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know this video is going to be a little behind, and these numbers could double, triple, quadruple. You know, there's no telling what may happen. But the world has about 1.2 million cases. We're reaching up to 1.3. Worldwide deaths is at 65,000. Out of the 1.2 million, we know for a fact that 253 million people have recovered. If you do the numbers, if you do the math, the death rate is roughly around 5% worldwide. Now, I know states are different, you know, like highly dense and populated areas, for example, like New York and or California and or Atlanta, you know, it's going to spread quicker. It's going to have a higher mortality rate, which is unfortunate. Let's talk about other, I'm not even going to call them comparable diseases or viruses, because they're really not. There's nothing like this. And I know a lot of people relate it to the flu, which I have done before. It is similar, but that doesn't mean that the DNA of it is the same. It causes a bunch of the same symptoms. Ebola, we had a big Ebola scare. Death rate of Ebola was about 40%, give or take. You've got the bird flu, a 50% mortality rate. Spanish flu, that was in 1918. That was a pretty big hit. You had about 10 to 20% fatality rate. So COVID-19 is at a 5% death rate, which is high. If there's one thing I've learned in the medical profession, in the profession of my job, and in life, people, if you're on this earth, you're gonna die eventually. I mean, there's no escaping it, right? From dust we were born to dust we will return, as the good book says. COVID-19 symptoms are very similar to the flu. I know I talked about that a little bit. The top three are fever, dry cough. You'll have that more so with COVID. You'll have shortness of breath. They're seeing COVID-19 basically develop pneumonia in most of its patients and then causing them to die that way. I don't know why. This blows my mind. Why everyone decided just to buy all the toilet paper in the world. And it's freaked me out, so every time I go out, I'll look for it. I'm not on an active hunt, but I'll look for it if I'm getting something in the store. And if they have some, I'll buy a pack. I mean, that's just how bad it is. Everybody's just hoarding and thinking it's the end of the world, which it may or may not be. I can't say for sure. I don't know. But, you know, if I don't understand anything about the book of Revelation in the New Testament, but the only thing I can tell you is that, you know, it'll get worse before it gets better. If something I don't, please let me know. There's nothing better than conversating with, you know, level-headed people that have a good input, you know, but there's going to be some of you that are just not, and that's life. That's YouTube. That's the internet. My wife works at an urgent care. They have had tons and tons of tests come back positive, and I think that's one of the things that's really, I don't want to say it's skewing the numbers. I think that's why the US has got positive cases than the rest of the world, because we're testing like crazy. We'll continue this when I get done off of the interstate here. That's another issue. You know, it's very easily spread. Even though you're doing everything you can yourself to not get it, you might have it on you, not even know, and it's easily spread. So, like, I was talking to someone, how easy is it that, you know, we talk about we should be washing our hands, we should be doing all these things to keep ourselves from getting COVID, but we should be doing that every day. Before this, before you mentally had a mindset of washing your hands, being very sterile, using everything, you know, not touching your eyes, not touching your lips, basically not touching your mucous membranes. Our phone, we touch our clothes, we touch our face, we touch our car door handle, we touch our steering wheel, and we think, oh, we're clean because I washed my hands. But think of all the times that you didn't wash your hands, or you didn't sanitize, or, you know, just think about it for a second. How many times do you take your phone out of your case to clean it? I know I'm bad at it. A good example is there was a lady pumping gas, getting groceries, something like that. I forget the story, but she was at a grocery store, and she had her gloves on, she had her little N95 mask on. You know, she was doing her part. You know, only she probably has 500 rolls of toilet paper, and she's doing what she can to limit the spread, limit herself from getting it. But she has her gloves on. She touches the pin pad, or she's touching all this stuff, and then she touches her face. Like, the gloves do you zero good if you are not practicing personal hygiene. You can do all these precautions, but you still can get it. COVID, it doesn't scare me. You know, I'm not really worried about getting it. And if I get it, I'm really not worried about having it. I'm hoping, you know, my immune system's strong enough to fight it off, and I'm healthy enough to not have to have any issues or complications. But that's not to say COVID could take me off this earth. I'm definitely not saying I'm immune to it, or I'm gonna for sure fight it off. Statistically wise, if I get it, I've got a 5% chance of dying, and, you know, my age and underlying medical history, which I may or may not know fully, you know, I've got a pretty good chance of beating it. You definitely want to self-quarantine yourself if you don't have it. I know it's beautiful. I'm getting out myself. You know, you need to stay active, you need to stay healthy, but if you're smart and you're very cautious about what you touch, what you're doing to yourself, your diet, your exercise, being around people, you know, you just have to be smart and be cautious. I mean, I'm not going to stay inside. I'm going to do my best to stay at home for the most part, but golly, you look at this God-given day, which is beautiful, and every day is God-given, and you got to make the best of it. Sometimes making the best of it is staying at home if you've got nothing going on. If you do go out, which I recommend you do, I know I'm saying two different things, and it's a double-edged sword. You know, you don't want to go out, but you need to go out. If you go out, you know, go out and exercise and walk, stay active. You know, you don't want to sit on the couch all day. You don't want to play video games all day, which I can be doing myself. That being said, I've got a couple of things I'd like to share with you. A little tidbits, little verses that kind of help me mentally, and this can be applied towards a bunch of different situations for sure. So Psalm 71 verse 1, it starts out really good. It says, "Oh Lord, I've come to you for protection. Don't let me be disgraced. Save me and rescue me, for you do what is right. Turn your ear to listen to me and set me free. Be my rock of safety, where I can always hide. Give the order to save me, for you are my rock and fortress." And that is verse 1 through 3. When it gets in times like this, you know, we can hide in him. He can wrap us up, shield us, and protect us. And that's kind of like the way I like to think about it. You know, when you're going through tough times and you can't walk through it, there's going to be some times where he'll carry you through it. He's not going to carry you through everything. There's got to be a mortality part of it where you have to do the work. You have to put yourself in a situation. Well, I don't want to say you have to put yourself in a situation. You have to put yourself forward in that situation that you're faced with and get through it yourself. There's a big quote I really enjoy, and you have to pray like it depends all on him. You have to pray your hardest, but you have to work like everything is dependent on you. So you have to work your butt off. I recommend reading this whole chapter, but you can jump to verse 15. It's got another little tidbit. It says, "I will tell everyone about your righteousness all day long. I will proclaim your saving power, though I'm not skilled with words." You won a race. You achieved something that, you know, you've been working on so hard for. You want to tell everyone about it. And it's so easy for us to get on social media and post it. We get something new. We obtain something we've never had and we've worked for. You know, we just want to post it, share it, and, you know, show it off, I think. You know, we like the likes. It gives us that little dopamine drip. But that's the same way when you go through a trial or a struggle and you get through it. Last one, which is really great, it is verse 20, the most powerful one and the most, I don't know how to say it, the least likely we want to read. You know, we definitely don't want to hear anything like this. So it's verse 20. It says, "You've allowed me to suffer much hardship, but you will restore me to life again and lift me up from the depths of the earth." That verse, I'll tell you what, I read it earlier today and didn't think too much about it, but I read it again and it speaks to me in a whole nother level. It first starts out by saying, "You will allow me to suffer much hardship." And we're not just talking about Corona, right? Which we can. You go through it, he's allowed you to go through it. And it may be because he's drawing you closer to you. He's teaching you how to pray. He's teaching you how to rely on him. He's teaching you how not to be selfish and rely on others for help. He's teaching you lots of different things, and you have to let him speak to you in that. It's going to be more stuff than I could even tell you guys. You're going through whatever you're going through for a particular reason. I can't tell you why, but you have to pray and ask why. And we may never know why, but you will restore me to life again. Just has to give you hope, because even though we're going through an issue and fighting this horrible disease or virus, he allows certain things to happen to build us up. But once he's built us up and we've handled it, we're ready for the next challenge. We're ready to help someone else get through that next challenge. You can't win at anything if there's not a challenge. If there's not a battle, right? You can never overcome something if there's nothing in front of you to overcome. You can never get stronger unless you have resistance. You can't become an awesome person without having to go through some hardships. It's just not going to happen. It's like your immune system. You cannot defeat a virus or become immune to something without your body having to fight it. The way life is, the way your spiritual and mental growth is, and the way your physical and immune growth is, it's just unreal how they can relate. That's it, guys. You know, there's a lot to look forward to when you read the Word of God. It's just the good book, man. The good book is good. We think when we're saved and we follow the Lord, everything's going to be hunky-dory and fine, but, you know, that doesn't mean we're exempt from the world's challenges and the struggles it throws up. So, guys, be smart. Don't panic. Don't buy all the toilet paper, please. I need some. Use your common sense. If you ain't got to go out, don't go out. If you want to go out and be smart. That's really all. I can leave it at that. If you're sick, stay home. If you're ill, go see somebody. If you call dispatch, call 911, go to the doctor to let them know you're feeling ill. If you have been affected by COVID or you know someone that has, please let me know. I would love to hear your story and we'll get through it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, especially after this long stint. I haven't looked at the analytics, and realistically, it's the channel still, it's not a fast pace, obviously. It's not record breaking, but it's still growing, which is unbelievable. I can't believe it. So guys, it means so much to me, and if you didn't unsubscribe after this came out, thank you so much. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace!